black-footed penguins who are from the coast of South Africa. We have Humboldt penguins from the coast of Peru and Chile. We have our macaroni penguins from the sub-Antarctic islands. And we have our very special rockhopper penguin, Ricky, who is from the Falkland Islands out in the wild. Here he is. Here's Ricky just coming up onto the rock and demonstrating why he is called a rockhopper penguin. There are 18 species of penguin out in the wild, ranging from the massive emperor penguin, which you may be familiar with from the films March of the Penguins or Happy Feet, all the way down to the tiny fairy penguin of Australia at only 1 foot tall. So after 3, guys, I want you to give me a hand here. I want you to, after 3, shout out what you think penguins like to eat without cheating, without looking at our keepers. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. Fish! Oh, that was dreadful. Anyway, you did get the right answer. They do like to eat fish. 80% of penguins' diet is actually made up of fish. The remaining 20% is made up of things like crustaceans and also a tiny shrimp-like creature known as krill. So Vicky, can you just tell us what you're feeding our penguins at the moment?
It's a small fish and it's called capelin.
Okay, sounds delicious. I don't think they sell it at Tesco's, but our penguins really seem to enjoy eating it. And you can see they're very good at diving. They like to dive to catch their fish. We like to throw in most of their food into the pool to simulate how they get their food out in the wild. The emperor penguins are actually hold the record for diving. They can dive up to 500 meters in depth, which is very impressive if you imagine that human beings, when we're scuba diving, can only dive up to about 30 or 40 meters. They've also got excellent underwater vision, so they can see exactly where they're going and see where their food is so that they can catch it very well. So you've probably noticed that all the penguins that you've ever seen, probably on the TV, are all black and white, with slight variations with some of our penguins with their yellow head feathers, but essentially they are all black and white. And the reason for this is a special type of camouflage known as countershading. And the way that this works is if you imagine that you're a predator of a penguin, and you're swimming over a group of penguins in the water, and you look down at them from above, the penguins' black backs will blend in really well with the darkness of the seabed below. The other way around, if you imagine that you're swimming underneath a group of penguins and you look at them from below, the penguins' white bellies will blend in really well with the light of the sky above. So it's a really good way of them to stay hidden from their predators and to stop getting eaten. But also interestingly, their predators also have this counter shading, so things like killer whales and also leopard seals are darker on the back than they are on their bellies, which helps them to sneak up on their prey so that they can take them by surprise. So obviously, as you may or may not know, penguins are actually birds. So they're very strange birds. They're very good at diving and swimming, unlike a lot of other birds, and they can't fly like many other species of birds, like the seagulls, flying around making a bit of a nuisance of themselves above us. They've actually evolved a few special adaptations that have helped them with life in the water, which means that they can't fly. So they've actually evolved solid bones, a bit like ourselves, instead of hollow bones, like all the other birds that can fly. And this means that they're very heavy so that they can sink, but it unfortunately means that they're not light enough to be able to take off in flight. We do also have another type of bird over here. This is our blue heron. He's trying to blend in and pretend to be a penguin so that he can steal some of the fish, but he's not doing a very good job, and I think he can see that I've spotted him now. So now that we know a little bit more about penguins in general, I'll tell you a little bit more about the types of penguins that we have here at London Zoo. So the majority of the penguin species that we have here at London Zoo are actually Humboldt penguins, and as I've already said, these are from the coast of Peru and Chile in South America. And they're also actually named after the cold water current that they like to swim in, which is in turn named after the explorer Alexander von Humboldt. Very similar to our Humboldt penguins are our black-footed penguins. So Vicky, can you just tell me how you can tell these apart, because they do look quite similar?
The birds to my right down here are the black-footed penguins, and they've got black faces. If you look at the Humboldts, they've got a pink skin all the way around their beaks.
Excellent. Also, if we have a very close look at our penguins, you will notice that they actually have a pattern of spots on their bellies as well. And these are all as individual to the penguins as our fingerprints are to ourselves. So we can also tell all the individuals apart that way as well. We also have some species of crested penguins. Crested penguins are the penguins with those rather ridiculous looking yellow head feathers on their head. There are 7 different species of crested penguin out in the wild, and there is a very good reason that they have these very silly looking yellow head feathers. Out in the wild, if they want to attract a member of the opposite sex, or if they want to show aggression, they'll just shake their heads from side to side, and the yellow head feathers will create a yellow halo around their heads. And the other penguins seem to find this quite attractive. So we do have 2 species of crested penguin, as I said, here at London Zoo. Most of these are macaronis. We have 4 macaronis at the moment. And out in the wild, they live in colonies of about 2.5 million birds, and they can be very, very smelly. So if you are getting a bit of a whiff of our macaronis at the moment, be thankful that we don't have 2.5 million of them. We do also have a different type of crested penguin here, apart from the macaronis, and this is Ricky. Ricky is just down here by Ricky and Vicky. We have our amazing duo here at the moment today. And Ricky is hopefully just about to show you why he's called a rock carpet penguin. So out in the Falkland Islands, where he's from in the wild, it's very, very rocky, the terrain. So to save a lot of his energy, instead of walking about, what he'll usually do is just hop from rock to rock to save his energy. So hence his rather descriptive name. But Ricky is actually a very, very special penguin. And the reason that he's so special is because he loves the limelight. As you'll see, he's standing here by our feet. He sometimes sits on our boots while we do the talk, and he just generally loves being a bit of a diva, to be honest. So much so that Ricky actually has his own Facebook page. So if when you go home, you've taken a bit of a shine to Ricky, as we all do here at London Zoo, go home, go onto Facebook and become friends with Ricky. He's got loads and loads of friends. I think his friends are actually in the thousands at the moment. So do become one of his friends, and you'll learn a bit more about him. You'll learn how he's getting on here at his new home at Penguin Beach. And hopefully when he soon goes to his other home at Whipsnade, you'll learn about how he gets on there too. But if you